How's everybody doing today? It is November 14th, 2017, and I am super excited to bring you guys the daily news and some of the things that I've been feeling in it. So, actually, let me make sure that I got everything else set up here. I was having these technical difficulties, so I was all like, I was way out of place with it. Boom. Okay, cool. And a couple other things set up here. Boom, 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 boom. Jeez, my computer is going slow. All right. But you know what? That's what I've been learning too, is that just have some fun with this. Because literally right now, I have like a beach ball with my mouse. Things are just spinning. Okay, let's see. Let's see if we could even just get through this part. All right, guys. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and get started with some of this. So, basically, today I just wanted to go ahead and talk about a few things that are affecting not just the blockchain, but everything else in the news and the world because, it just doesn't have to be blockchain news and crypto news. It could be other things as well. So, one of the first things that I wanted to talk about was about how there's an interesting article that I read yesterday from quartz.com, QZ, and basically they are it's a news site. Like, who knows anymore about like how reputable any of these sites are. But Quartz is something that's kind of interesting. They wrote something interesting that I'll just read it. Block forging ahead with its military integration to shake off US dependence. It took 70 years, but the European Union finally signed a pact today on November 13th, yesterday, agreeing to integrate military funding, weapons development, and deployment of European defenses. U.S. President Donald Trump's frequent accusations that European Union countries do not pay enough into NATO has been one catalyst for them to move forward with a unified plan for military cooperation. The other is that it could legitimately diminish the bloc's dependence on U.S. military support. EU Foreign Policy Chief Federica Mogherini, sorry if I'm butchering your name, called the pact historic, as the real problem is not how much we spend, it's the fact we spend in a fragmented manner. She also said that it would strengthen the work of the US-led NATO. The UK has always resisted the idea of joining a EU defense, fearing some kind of big European army, but the country's planned exit from the bloc has removed that hurdle, allowing 23 other EU countries to move forward. Once Brexit happens, the UK could still possibly be involved, but for a price. The group will have all of this defense stuff that's going on, and the next step will be for EU leaders to sign the legally binding agreement in December. So this is just something that I feel that's kind of interesting, guys, because on my channel before, I have definitely reported about how U.S. has lost some of its opportunities to participate in some of these cryptocurrencies. Now, what happened to my music? Let me get my music up, because music is life. Gotta get that back. Okay, there we go, there we go. Okay, so I was talking about how, like, previously in the past that the year that ICOs and cryptocurrencies have stayed shy from the US due to a lot of things. And I think like the biggest reasons are, it's just kind of like whenever you go and sign a contract with a company like Apple, it's going to be something that's so thick of a contract that's going to have like 300 pages on it, that there's going to be so much fine detail and so much fine print to read through that people are just going to be like, man, forget this. So I feel that all of the anti-money laundering laws, know your customer laws, all of that type of stuff. Man, this music is going off right now. Hold on. Hold the phone. I need something deep and trippy. All right, cool. That's what this track is called. Anyways, it's interesting because, like whenever we've had this type of interaction happening with the world, we see that the know your customer policies and the anti-money laundering policies and all of these different laws that other countries have to deal with, those are things that it just becomes such a burden to not only hire people that are educated on that, but then educate yourself on all of those things and educate yourself on all of these terminologies that are just born in the US and born in just one place. And, then everybody else has to learn them. And so when it gets to be too top heavy and it becomes too much for any one man to easily digest and comfortably learn fast, then people don't want to do it. People just like, no, I'm not into it. And hold on, I think it looks like something is like frozen. I just got to keep checking this stuff. But I got music now. That's good, right? Okay, let me just go ahead and see what's going on here, because I don't think my web chat is going and I need it to go. I can't even see what you guys are saying, if anybody's saying anything. Probably not. It's whatever. But let me see here. There we go. Okay, cool. All right, perfect. Now I'm seeing that I'm connected. So yeah, basically, this is just something that it's something that the U.S. is going to face. It's something that some of the other first world countries are going to be facing soon too, and it's because the first world countries have done so much work on trying to build up their law systems, trying to build up just a good economy, and you can't blame them, because this is something that's going to always happen inside of a country whenever it's trying to flourish and whenever it's trying to come up. Hey, salam. Hey, good morning. Pleasure. Good morning, good evening, wherever you are around the world. Glad that you could make that. Advembema 6. Make sure that you stick around, because my room is your room. My friends are your friends. So, yeah, just taking a look at a couple of things here, and it's basically that we have a lot of different laws that are happening in the U.S. and in Europe. And Europe is going to have it too, as well as other places like in the Asian countries, the most developed Asian countries, some of like China and other places like that have spent so much time building up their laws to becoming so perfected for just themselves that it's going to become very hard for them to integrate into other countries in this worldwide economy that's starting to open up due to cryptocurrency. So, oftentimes I'll end up saying that I love the company Apple, and hey, if there's anybody out there that hates on that, that's just fine. But here's something that I think is interesting too, is that everything in life is a double-edged sword. Everything in life has a positive and a negative to it. So glad that you ended up making it. Ciao. So basically, what I could say is that when these countries are starting to build up so many of their laws, it could be kind of like how Apple is, where it's like only compatible within its own ecosystem, and other countries have to try to become compatible to it. And so there's going to be a point where like Apple would end up seeing itself like in a hard place, because it is not universally compatible with everything else. Okay, and so like if it was to start to open itself up to other things and become more compatible with other things, then it can really advance far. But The downside to that is that they can't guarantee, that everything is going to work perfectly. And why am I saying this? Is because I'm saying that with our money, it's the same way as well. And with these countries and their law bodies, it's the same thing. So, the U.S. has built up such good laws within its own ecosystem, within its own money, within its own law body, that now it's finding itself incompatible with everything else in the world. And other countries that are super evolved in that way and creating their own law bodies and exercising those countries are going to face the same problems as well. And the reason why is because cryptocurrency is starting to just flourish across the planet and help people see that they don't have to end up staying within one law body, or they don't have to stay within one country in order to get their things done. In fact, it's not going to be attractive to do those types of things, I foresee, in the future. Just my opinions, just my observations of the situation. But I was telling people around me, as soon as I heard that Trump was even running for president, I knew that it was going to be hard for the U.S. to make itself look attractive to other countries in the future going forward, just because of what we allowed to have happen and what's still allowing to continue to happen. And so I feel it's just like a duty to the world of every country to end up saying, like, hey, we are trying to make ourselves as attractive as possible so that people want to come over and hang out in our country and do business with us and things like that. And I feel that, with the most recent election, it's going to be very unattractive for other people to come here. And, that's what's making it very hard for me to even want to stay. And what I can say right now with my stance is that I'm just somebody that sovereign starseed. The reason why it's called that is because I'm sovereign and I think for myself, and I want the world to know that the operator of this channel right now is not in agreement, with the law body and with what's happening inside of our country, like on a political level. And I say that with respect and neutrality to it. And I just am saying that with peace and with an open heart, because I want, the world to know that there are other people in this country that think like me as well. And this right here is something that I was saying, that as soon as I knew that Trump was going to be running for president, that it's going to shut us out from the rest of the world in multiple ways. So we've already seen it with certain cryptocurrency exchanges. We're already seeing it and continuing to see it with ICOs and beautiful projects that are taking over the planet. They're not allowed in the U.S. because of all the KYC laws, the Know Your Customer laws, and also the anti-money laundering laws. There's going to be so much tracking that the U.S. needs to feel that it has to do, because that's the way it built itself up, that it's going to have to try to attempt to do something like that. And I feel, with respect, if we were able to allow ourselves to just basically uphold our own cryptocurrencies and take accountability for our own money, then we would be able to allow it to kind of like step back a little bit, and then we can start to facilitate worldwide commerce. Wow, that was a lot there. I don't even know if that made sense to everybody, but this is just the daily news. This is just my perspective here, and that's okay. I have that right to end up having my own opinion. And so basically, as this is here, this is just something that I thought was pretty interesting about how, there's been quite a few other militaries now that have now joined together to shake itself of U.S. dependence. And I feel that that is the biggest goal that they were trying to complete. And I think that there's going to be a lot more, actions from foreign leaders doing the same things, just trying to shake themselves of U.S. dependence as much as possible, because it's just hard to see yourselves dependent upon the representatives that we have right now. Wow. And so there's just, like as I'm seeing it, like I think that there's going to be other things that are going to happen in the world that, it's going to shake the US off, and it's going to try to put the US into its own little corner. And, I definitely want to end up believing that we have provided enough for the world so that that way we can continue to be something in the world that the world wants to continue to do business with even after our next term, should our next term continue the same presidency. So I'll tell you this, as this is, it's just my opinion, this is, and it evolves all the time, it changes all the time. I have the right to change that all the time. And I know that what I'm saying could be debatable. And in fact, absolutely everything that I'm saying could be debatable. And that's okay. It's okay. It's just the way that I see it, though, because I foresaw that now militaries are starting to shake itself of dependence, U.S. dependence. There's going to be other places that are going to shake itself of U.S. dependence now that we don't have to use U.S. currency everywhere in the world. Then the U.S. is very, very going to be struggling very hard to try to make itself significant in some of the countries that it's in right now. And I feel it doesn't provide too much to these other countries besides just pushing its dollars around. So that's really like just what I've seen, just my open heart, just my open mind, my open third eye, just trying to stay positive with this, and just trying to stay neutral with this as well, so that way I could still, keep my head on straight with this. And thank you for anybody that's watching. So that is just that about how, militaries are now shaking itself. Next in the news, I just wanted to talk about a little bit Facebook real fast. Is that, I don't have a Facebook account. I have a tiny little account, and I use that. I got like 2 friends on there, and those are the friends that go to like all the events, and like that's it. But like I don't use it, and it's because I predicted things like this were gonna happen. On LA Times. Now this is one of those you gotta respect it news sources. Look, I'll even show you the website right here. It's latimes.com. I always just put this stuff up in a better mode for you guys to read on, so it's more, easy. But Los Angeles Times is now reporting that Facebook says to shield you from revenge porn, it needs your naked photos. So this is pretty interesting, and it's just really hard to comprehend, like the intentions behind Facebook on this. And what I can say is that it just very interesting that Facebook, who has been publicly called out for spying on people, turning on people's microphones, they've admitted it. They've turned on people's microphones, webcams, everything. Now they're asking for people's naked pictures. So I'll tell you this: I used to end up having a profile on Facebook, but it was under my rap name because I used to do hip hop. And like, shoot, I still do it, I guess, you know what I mean? Because once it's in your blood, it never leaves you. But hip hop, like, I put my hip hop name on there, and I actually had like Facebook shut my account down and say that you can definitely get back in if you were able to provide a birth certificate that had your rap name on it. And I was like, okay, sure, Facebook, let me go ahead and get right on getting a birth certificate that has my rap name on it. So basically, they shut me out, and they said, thank you for making Facebook have high quality members. And so how I'm seeing that is that it's just that it didn't really attract me to coming back that much, except for just making like a little stupid fake profile so that I could see where the events are going on. And yeah, like I don't post any pictures, no statuses, no nothing like that. I don't care. And I knew that at some point it was going to be doing things like this. It asked for my birth certificate in the past. It's asked for social security cards, and it's asked for a lot of personal documents. And now it's asking for very personal pictures. And it's very interesting because at the same time, Facebook um, is trying to make itself like be more high quality with its users, and it's trying to like update its apps so that the microphones don't turn on in the background of everybody's devices. So You know what I mean? Like, this is something that's very interesting, and you know what I find is going to be even more interesting is how many people that are possibly going to submit their photos. And so I am going to kind of like just, I guess, stop on this subject because there isn't anything left for me to say except for the fact that like I'm gonna be surprised if I find anybody that I know submitting their naked photos to Facebook so that way they can say, oh, you know, it was so that I couldn't have revenge porn on me, you know, because I care that much about my Facebook account. So yeah, as that is. Next in news, I just wanted to end up talking. This is where we get into some of the crypto. Crypto is how we launch the Bitcoin futures. CME is going to launch the Bitcoin futures in mid-December. We had previously heard that it was going to be launching this week. However, they're just taking a little bit more time on when they're coming up with their product. But I can say this, guys, is that if they're coming out with Bitcoin futures in mid-December and they've already been looking into it, the price of Bitcoin is going nowhere. It's definitely not gonna, or I'm sorry, the price of Bitcoin is going somewhere. It's always going somewhere, but the blockchain of Bitcoin isn't going anywhere. And there's been a lot of news on the internet lately talking about how Bitcoin is dead and long live Bitcoin Cash and things like that. But nope, you know, they're going to have two different purposes. People are still going to find uses for them, and so they're still going to survive. So I just think that it's beautiful, and CME is it's a financial company that is looking into it as well. So, you know, maybe we should take a look at that. So, Ubin Part 2, Singapore Central Bank publishes blockchain project details. Okay, I like this because basically I've been getting news lately about how, and I've been showing you guys the news lately about how Singapore Central Bank is trying to do it like pretty much the most honorable way of accessing this type of technology. And I am so pleased with the way that the central bankers or actually just one of the central bankers in Singapore is taking it. He's basically saying we have a lot to learn from ICO. We need to be sitting back and we need to be taking notes. And that's exactly the stance that I would love for other people to follow suit with as well. If you're in a political position, if you're in a central banking position, just because this is beautiful technology, and to try to end up looking at it or trying to like nail it all down at once without looking at it for years and taking notes and seeing what's happening and how it evolves is just going to do yourself a disservice. So as that is, I'm just thinking, you know, this is beautiful. Ask some of these people over here in Singapore what they're doing, because they've already started coming out with these different projects about how they're going to be integrating blockchain technologies, which I think is beautiful. And so it's going to come in these three different phases. If you guys want to read more about the phases, go to coindesk.com and check out the link there. You know what? I just figured it might be a good idea to start having some of my links where I'm reading, some of my links to be in my chat. So I'm going to put this on my to-do list. Okay, cool. So yeah, so with that, just take a look at that because it's beautiful, because the central bank is definitely publishing some cool documents on what they're wanting to do with the blockchain so far. I also see that the people in Singapore have enough sense in them, you know, and I don't even know. I don't want to sound like condescending, man. Like, no offense at all by that statement. What I'm just trying to say is that there's hardly anybody around the world except for some of the Singapore central bankers that are able to see it from a correct light. And I fully expect this paper to change and evolve a bunch as these guys continue to look at ICOs, continue to look at blockchain projects. And that's what some of our Federal Reserve bankers absolutely should start doing as well. Follow the script, guys. Get in line. Okay, next. CoinDesk is this is something that's pretty cool because here's another article that talks about how the title of it says, "I'll give you my Bitcoin when you pry it from my cold dead hands." And so basically, let's see, every once in a while, um, it's useful to revisit the core value propositions of cryptocurrencies. One of the most underappreciated, at least outside of technology's inner circles, is the fact that Bitcoin and the like can give individuals a greater degree of financial autonomy. So basically, this is what I'm trying to say is that banks are going to become very irrelevant because banks pretty much provide the autonomy for the fiat currencies because people can't hire armored guards and they can't have armored trucks just to transfer, several $100 over across town somewhere, and so they always have to go through some banking measures, some other instruments in order to get their money somewhere. And so it allows for bankers to be significant and allows for bankers to be relevant because people aren't able to take accountability for their own currency. So what I've been saying like in this channel and what I'm saying with this article and the knowledge I get out of it is that what's so beautiful about cryptocurrencies is it gives us the autonomy, guys. It gives us the freedom to be able to do what we want with our money. And there have been a couple of discussions that I've had lately with some of my close friends about how, like, look, this money that you have, it's something that you can lose, but you're going to be completely autonomous over it. You're going to own your money. And it's a step that our planet needs to make. It's a step that our planet it's made before, but it fell down in consciousness. And during that fall of consciousness, that's when certain people weren't able to take accountability for their own actions or for their own banking or for their own words or for anything. And that's when they allowed other people to come into their life to take accountability for them. And so that's where bankers became relevant. That's where law bodies became relevant. That's where lawyers became relevant. All of that type of stuff came out. Now that we have cryptocurrencies coming into place, we also have smart contracts coming into place. We also have all these other things coming into place that are going to make things autonomous. It's now going to make the people that called themselves accountants, people that called themselves bankers, people that called themselves judges, and people that called themselves lawyers are now going to have to start to look for jobs in other industries because this industry is going to shrink. These industries are going down due to the autonomy that people are being able to see with the cryptocurrencies that they're now being able to hold. Take a look at China. Take a look at what they just did. They tried to ban their people from it. Then their people were like, no, baby, I'm loving this right now. I am loving this. I am going to continue using cryptocurrencies. And something else that I saw reported was that there was a mass exodus of people in China leaving China so that they could continue to use Bitcoin. And now if you're smart government, that's going to scare you because you're like, wait, why are people leaving my country? Because I want to control their money? Those are the things that we need to be looking at. Maybe I need to go over to Singapore and just take a vacation real fast with some of this tax dollars and tell the people, hey, I'm going to take a vacation. Me and the whole government's taking a vacation over to Singapore real fast, and we're going to go ahead and ask them what they're learning from the blockchain. We're going to put our engineers onto the blockchain. We're going to start writing documents that support some of the plans from Singapore and from just other places around, and from Ethereum and from all these other cryptocurrencies. And guess what, guys? With the tax dollars, we're going to come back and we're going to show you and publish our results and our reports in a very public and transparent way, in a very easy to digest way that makes it attractive for everybody, so that everybody's walking away like, wow, I love what happened. I love what happened there. And so that's I know it sounds ridiculous, and I know these expectations are high, but I also know that we can do it. So we can do it, guys. It's not too difficult. And just taking a look at this, going back to some of the beauty and the benefits of cryptocurrencies, you could just definitely see that, people aren't going to want to deal with paper. People are going to want to deal with paper dollars. People are going to want to deal with paper money, especially now with how ubiquitous the internet has become. And so that's what's going to be beautiful is that we're going to start to see more people taking accountability because they're becoming their own banks. And that's what I used to say. I used to always say it to everybody too, is that like that's why Bitcoin is amazing. You can be the CEO of your own bank and then say whatever rules you want to have happen in that bank. You can be the CEO of 100 banks if you want because it's free to create wallets. And I hope that it's always free to create wallets. There's probably going to be cryptocurrencies and blockchains that are going to charge people to create wallets. So that's just something to be thinking about here. And then, so next, I just wanted to talk about how confidential transactions will hit Litecoin after Bitcoin. So this is something that's really, really cool. Charlie Lee, if you guys don't see Charlie Lee, creator of Litecoin, I follow him on Twitter. You guys should follow him as well. He always has like a lot of really insightful things to say. And basically, Lee says fungibility is only good for money feature, is the only good money feature that Bitcoin lacks. And that's the only thing is fungibility. So fungibility, let's just go ahead and take a look at this because on here on Sovereign Starseed, we definitely educate ourselves. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's the word of the day. Fungibility. What does that mean? Fungibility. I love this word. I have my own kind of definition about it, but I just want to get something better. This is how fast my internet's going when I stream. Fungibility is the property of a good or a commodity whose individual units are essentially interchangeable. So that's actually a good one right there, pretty much. And so, yeah, fungibility. What that basically means is that you're able to exchange it for something. And let's see, for example, since 1 kilogram of pure gold is equivalent to any other kilogram of pure gold, whether in the form of coins, ingots, or other states, gold is fungible. Other fungible commodities include sweet crude oil, company shares, right? See, because you can end up changing company shares for other company shares. Bonds, you can exchange bonds out for other bonds. Other precious metals, you could change them out for rings, jewelry, all that type of stuff, and currencies. So that's what Forex is about. So fungibility is so amazing because it's what does it's what does it's allowing us to exchange cryptocurrencies to other things. So cryptocurrencies need to end up having fungibility. And so there was something that I was going to end up bringing up with this that I thought was really important. Oh well. Anyways, yeah, the fungibility of all of this stuff is what makes things so useful, and it's what we definitely want to have. Oh, I remember what it is. It's like the quantum. It's like there's like a quantum blockchain transaction that are starting to happen. It's like an inter blockchain transactions, and that's what these things are starting to talk about. Let me talk about. Oh man, I'm trying to remember what it is, but it's like a quantum transaction where it can, if anybody's watching, go ahead and post that up on what I'm talking about. But it's like this way where you can um, send a transaction from one blockchain to another. Dang it. So, anyways, I'll end up looking it up, and then we'll do a video on it. We'll do a video talking about it. So, but that's what makes it so fungible. And I want you guys to know that the fungibility is something that's coming further, because the developers of these blockchains are always trying to look to try to make their like blockchains more attractive to everybody. So if you look at this, like you can see that, you know, fungibility is the only good money feature that Bitcoin lacks. And so I'm excited to see progress on confidential transactions. I look forward to adding this to Litecoin when it is ready, and this can be done with a soft fork. Stay tuned. So Charlie Lee is basically talking about how, you know, there is going to end up being some awesome um, updates to Litecoin, where it's going to end up allowing it to have confidential transactions. And so just be on the lookout for that. I think that's going to be really cool, because that's helping people be protected more. And this is the way that blockchains are going to evolve, is like, you know, the governments come in and they try to do what the governments have to do, which is track so many things until they end up updating things. And once they update things and they can realize that they can still do law while giving people privacy, then you can end up seeing that there's not going to be like pushing from developers to spending their time on making transactions more private. So, other than that, last thing that I wanted to talk about today is that there's more than 15,000. This is from cbc.ca. So this is like, um, you know, don't know how, you know, reputable any of this news is anymore. Even the LA Times, you know what I mean? Because those guys are getting stuff too. But this is a pretty cool website. And it says more than 15,000 scientists from 184 countries issue a warning to humanity. A similar warning was first issued by scientists in 1992, and they have issued a warning there needs to be change in order to save Earth. And Sovereign Starseed loves to end up reporting on certain things like this, where there were a whole bunch of scientists that got together on their own free will, talking about how, look, this has to happen, this has to change. So I would love to end up putting this message out further. So, you know, this new cautioning, which gained popularity on Twitter with scientists, hashtag scientists warning to humanity, garnered more than 15,000 signatures. So climate change likely helped fuel Harvey's strength, because the climate is becoming so drastic. That's why Harvey was so intense, is that they feel that that was a factor. And like, I would almost say absolutely, absolutely. Um, there's there's other things. So there's a decline in freshwater availability, is what they're reporting. Unsustainable marine fisheries. There's starting to end up being ocean dead zones, forest losses, dwindling biodiversity, climate change, and population growth is pretty much one of the biggest reasons that's causing all of these other things here. So there was one positive outcome, however, a rapid decline in ozone depletion. The trends are alarming and they speak for themselves, Ripple said, though he notes the improvement in the ozone hole illustrates that humanity can make change when needed. So I think that's beautiful. And after writing the Viewpoint article, which was accepted for publication in the Journal of Bioscience, um, he decided to see if he could once again collect signatures. I'd never tried that before. So July, I sent the article to 40 colleagues of mine, and by the next day, 600 scientists had signed it. Almost 1,900 scientists have signed the second hashtag scientist warning to humanity. Let's hit. All right, I'll sign it. Can this do this? Within 2 days, there were 1,200 signatures. They're concerned about the state of the world. Yo. Gosh, my computer's going so slow. It's okay though. That's just the Yahoo News article. I wanted to end up doing something. I wanted to add on to it. So, Let's see how. Okay. Well, it's all good. I'm gonna end up coming over here to the app, and I'll just do the app. Hashtag scientists warning to humanity. Sovereign Starseed is on board. Cool. So, yep, that's something that I think is pretty interesting that absolutely, again, we got to be paying attention to, guys, just because, there's a lot of damage that was caused by a Hurricane Harvey. And it's interesting because the middle class and its carbon footprint is what this is saying, that the data is what it's found is that since 1992, carbon emissions have increased 62%. There's been a rapid decline in fertility rates, is what they said. So, yep, this is pretty interesting. We're in the throes of the mass extinction event. It's not something we can. This is not something we can fix. If we lose 50 to 75% of the species on the planet in a century, which is what scientists are telling us, what will occur if we continue to operate as business as usual. If this happens, this cannot be fixed. When asked whether she's optimistic that the new petition will have an effect on changes, Chris said that she doesn't think of it that way. Taking care of the planet is akin to taking care of one's family. I like that. We take care of our families, our children, and our sponsors, and our parents. When you take care of your family, you don't do it because you're optimistic or pessimistic. It's because that's what you do. Our mandate is that we take care of Earth and Earthlings and human beings because we're all family. Dude, I'm quoting this. Putting this out right now. That is beautiful. Who's Chris? Eileen Christ. Let's get him. Okay. Human beings because we're all family. That's just so beautiful. Let's see if I can get a couple more. Put the star seeds on there. Ugh. Now I'm out of characters. So that's awesome, you guys. So basically with that, I just sent out a nice little tweet on that too. So thank you guys, anybody for watching this here today. This is basically just something that I like to end up doing every day. I'm trying to get better with my streaming here. As you can see, I'm still having technical difficulties. I'm using a different browser right now, all kinds of stuff. So as that is, I'm trying to do my crypto news every day, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. Oh, what are you doing, Bag Mango? Hey, how's it going, man? You getting the mining You getting the mining operation going? We're gonna hang out for another minute, man. Now that you're in here. No? Why? What happened? I'm thinking about getting a PC today. If anybody can believe that. I know. I'm thinking about getting a small little PC, like a Windows PC. Oh my God, this is crazy. But I'm thinking about doing it just so that I could have like a little laptop to stream with because I'm finding so many of these cool applications like are PC only, Windows only. So my PC need to fix. See, bro, like I have a Mac right now and it's like it's been humming. And I bought this thing since in 2014. This little MacBook Air, and it's just nice. But like right now it's slow, super slow. So I'm thinking about getting a PC, just a nice little PC, like a little laptop. So I think that'd be cool. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, dude, I don't have too bad of a lag. Well, right on, man. I hope that you end up getting that fixed. Oh, hey, did you know about Do you have an Android phone? Do you have an iPhone? What do you got? Check this out. Oh, I need to stretch. iPhone? Oh man, okay. Yo, Team iPhone. That's right, bro. I'm on it too. But check this out. If you know anybody that has an old Android phone, like I was gifted this old Samsung Note 2. Look at this. Like the screen is all messed up on it. It is like cracked. Okay? But there's an app that you can download in the Android store. Galaxy Note 2. This thing is so old. But I can say this is that um, it's so cracked, it's so old, it's so messed up, but there's still an app on here that you can download called Neo Neon Miner, and it will mine coins for you, bro. And like you can do this on an Android phone and just leave it sitting like in the corner of your room and connect it to the Wi-Fi, and you'll be able to mine coins on your phone. Now, it's not going to end up producing like huge amounts of coins, but it's passive and it's free. And I knew that you were interested in that. So, yeah, bro, watch this. I don't know if I have it on here still. Yeah, I do. I only have four little things on this. One of them's a crypto folder. Let me see if I can bring this up. Neo Neon Miner. See if you can see this through this messed up screen. Bow. Dude, this thing will just fire up, and all you got to do is come down here and start, and it will start mining. And so I know that you were interested in that, and honestly, I was going to say to you, this is going to end up being one of your best bets on trying to get into mining in a way that's going to give you the experience you want, but not be like really killing you on your electrical bills. Okay, bro? Because like that's the best way to manage that. Yeah, dude, I could totally help you out with Genesis mining. Dude, did you just buy into Genesis mining? Please tell me within the last couple days you bought in. Oh man, because they just went back on sale, and then this morning they tweeted it. Oh, okay. Today they tweeted it out again, saying that they just ran out of mining contracts, and so dang it, like you just missed it, but it's okay. I could still help you with Genesis mining. You could still make money with Genesis mining, but there are these other contracts that are really awesome contracts, the lifetime ones. They just had them open, and they were open for like 2 days, and then they sold out. And I bought as much as I could, like all of my Bitcoin worth that I had, like just on hand. I just went right into Genesis. So right, yeah, no, not right now, because now they're all. Oh man, man, I wish you would have told me this like 2 or 3 days ago, bro. Because like not only could you have gotten into Genesis mining, and I'm not saying this to like make you feel bad, but I'm just trying to help you see the importance in this, so that next time that it goes on sale, like you jump. You know what I'm saying? Because me and other people that already have accounts, like whenever we got this, we jumped. And I'll tell you this, I'll give you this. If you follow me on Twitter, I will be tweeting out Genesis mining contracts as soon as they become available. And the other part is I'll give you my code that gives you the 3% off, and that can end up helping you out. And if you shoot me a screenshot of your code or my code being used on your account, then dude, I'm gonna end up using your code or somebody else, somebody else as well if you don't do it. But like I'll use somebody's code the next time that I buy into Genesis mining because dude, it's amazing. So you could still profit with Genesis mining, but oh man, I can't do it right here. All right, yo, yeah, all right. I will get on my just. Thank you, bro. You're right. So here's the thing. I'm trying to learn how to use Discord a lot better. So I do have that started up. Let me go ahead and pop up here right now. Let me pull it up, and I'll get on Discord. And then how about that? How about I'll just help you out through the Discord chat room, and we'll get a Genesis mining thing going, so that you and I can just like talk about it. We'll get you set up. We'll start getting you paid out. Cause yeah, man, I love showing people this. Yeah, I'm starting up Discord now. Okay, cool. So then, yeah, if anybody else has any other things that they want to end up talking about, just, pop out a question, let me know. Shoot me a message. Like you can follow me on any of these accounts and shoot me a message. I'm still learning how to get down with all the social media, including Discord. So I have a Discord server that I have set up, and you can go ahead and join that with the link that's in the description here. That way we can go ahead and get some conversation started, guys. So yeah, let me go ahead and get this all set up. Oh, there we go. Boom. All right, bro. I'm up in Discord. I'm gonna end up signing off of stream here, so that way my computer can cool down a little bit. Let me hear it. Yeah, the fan is on. The fan only comes on like when I'm streaming. That's like because it's being used. Actually, let me see my activity monitor right now. Wow. Yeah, everything is getting used fast. I need to go and get this little Windows laptop so I can stream from it. So, all right, yeah, I'm gonna end up signing off here, but I will see you in the Discord room, Mango, and we'll end up talking about that. We'll get you set up on Genesis Money, bro. No problem. If any of you guys like what I talk about here, make sure that you subscribe and turn on the post notifications. I try to do crypto news every day at 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, and so go ahead and catch me there over the next couple days. It's going to be a little bit interesting just because I'm still trying to get the setup set up, and so yeah, just make sure that you turn on the post notifications so you know when I'm going live. And if you found value in what I'm talking about here, make sure you share this out with somebody else. And other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I just really appreciate it. I appreciate every time when you guys watch, or I just appreciate being able to be on here, man. Like that's really it. Like there have been plenty of times that nobody's talked, and I'm like, I don't care. So just thank you guys so much for any support that you give me, because just know that I don't take it lightly. It really does affect me. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. for some more